Hello you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, hello and welcome. So in this video I'm going to be doing a part 3 to my Wings of Fire hybrid challenge. So you guys seem to really enjoy part 2, and this whole series has been so much fun for me as well, since I have been experiencing a little burnout lately, and it's just so nice to have a random wheel on Google decide what you draw instead of your own brain for once. And if you guys have any hybrid suggestions or anything you want me to draw in specific, I'd love to make a video on that as well. But yeah, this video was really fun to make. It was supposed to come out sooner, but there were some editing complications and whatnot. So anyway, I'm posting this now, and I really hope you guys do enjoy it, and this video was just so much fun for me. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so our first hybrid is Smores. She is a mud ice hybrid. Now, originally I had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted her design to be, but it's mud ice. You can't really, there's not too much brainstorming involved other than, color palette wise, there's not much you can do, but I ended up basing her off of a s'more. Now, I wasn't originally going to do this, but when I started coloring her, her kind of chocolatey brown color reminded me of a s'more, especially with the white of the ice wing is almost like a marshmallow, so I ended up basing her off of a s'more, and I'm so happy I did because it came out looking so adorable, and I'm obsessed. So her parents are both travelers. Her father left the Mud Kingdom when he was pretty young, mostly because he didn't have any sibs, and he was kind of a weirdo and didn't really have any friends, so he ended up leaving and started exploring Pyria, eventually landing in Possibility, where he met Smores' mother. Now, they do travel around Pyria, so they don't really stay in one place for very long. Now, Smores herself isn't a huge traveler, but she does love trying different new foods and just exploring the culture of different tribes. Another thing I think would be really fun for her design is she actually can't breathe fire or ice breath. She can actually only breathe steam, which I think would be such a fun idea, since her parents' breaths, they cancel out each other, since her mother has ice, frost breath, and her father can breathe fire, so she kind of got a mixture of both, which means she can only really breathe steam, but I think that'd be such a cute idea, and it also kind of ties in with the s'mores, warm aesthetic of her, so I don't know, I really like it, and I feel like a cute little design quirk of her. And yeah, so basically she can only breathe steam, but it doesn't really stop her that much, and she doesn't really care, but I don't know why that's so funny to me, but I don't mind her design, and I like her color palette a lot. So next up we have Blossom, who is a silk leaf hybrid. Now, originally I was going to go for a green color palette, but I ended up leaning more into the Shakira Cherry Blossom vibe instead, since it is canonical. Leaf wings can have this pink and brown color palette. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but they did add this color to the Roblox Wings of Fire game, and I have heard it from multiple sources, but please correct me if I'm wrong and this is not canon, but I thought it was, so it's fine, guys. But anyway, I really like his color palette. The actual coloring process was a bit of a pain, and I'm not a huge fan of his design, but it's okay. It's not the worst dragon I've ever drawn, it's just not my favorite. I ended up giving him these little leaves on the end of his antenna, which I think is a super cute nod to his leafwing heritage. Now, parentage-wise and where he lives, I know he lives on Pentella, and that's all I can really come up with for him. So, his parent backstory, I don't really have one. He, personality-wise, is very bubbly and kind of oblivious, and he's not good at taking social cues. So if you're talking to the guy and you start hinting subtly that you have to go somewhere, so on and so forth, he will not pick that up at all, so you'll have to just tell him flat out to his face, I gotta go, or he will just keep talking. He's super bubbly and loves other dragons. Do the other dragons love him? I don't know, but he completely, if they ever made snide remarks or try to bully him, he's just completely oblivious. He doesn't know, because he does get bullied occasionally because he is a hybrid, but the guy doesn't care. He's just whatever, but he's super sweet and bubbly and kind of is really good at kicking those bullies' butts. It's just so, I don't know. His character reminds me of some character from a movie or something, and I can't pinpoint it, but I swear I've seen this character, before. But I don't know. I really love how his character turned out. I don't love his color palette or his design, but I love his character. So, pretty good. I ended up giving him a little leafwing sail as well to tie into that leafwing heritage and add more interest to his design. and I did struggle a bit, but I ended up, it's not my favorite design I've ever done, but it's not my least favorite, you know, it's kind of meh, it's whatever. So his design did cause some problems, but it's okay. I'm not a huge fan, but what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinion, but yeah, that's Blossom. Alrighty, so for our third and final dragon, we have Amethyst. They are a sand-rain hybrid. Now, I ended up making them non-binary mostly because I don't really have any non-binary OCs, and I don't really have that many OCs anyway, so I thought it's a good time to start. And anyway, I wanted to make them, actually, they're very hard of hearing, so they're almost deaf, which I don't know. Their personality is very shy, but once you get to know them, they're like super empathetic and sweet and warm, and are just a super, like such a sweet dragon to hang out with. And they're like, I don't know, they're just, I like their personality a lot. Their parents met in the town of Possibility, and basically their mother, who is a rainwing, she loves weaving tapestries. So she weaves tapestries out of like different vines and plants and like rainforest flowers, and her father is a huge fan of music. So anyway, her father traveled to Possibility to expand his music skills, so and her mother actually was traveling around Pyria because she was trying to look for new exotic plants. And long story short, her mother ended up meeting her father, and they had Amethyst. Now, I think it's kind of fun. So her mother is a very stern dragon, but her father is like the bubbliest, happiest guy, and I think he's kind of he's a parental figure that is going to crack annoying jokes or like embarrassing jokes, but he's like super sweet. Now, Amethyst is super hard of hearing, so they find it kind of hard to communicate, but they have figured out like almost like dragon sign language, because that's not really part of the book, and I really want it to be part of the Wings of Fire canon. But yeah, basically they figured out they learn their own language basically, and they're super smart, and they don't make friends easily, but when they do, they are super sweet, super empathetic. You can tell them all your problems, and they won't judge you for it. Like, they're very sweet, empathetic, and they've come up with their own like language, which is really cool. They're not completely deaf, so they can hear relatively loud sounds, which is also why they really enjoy their father's music, because they actually can hear it. So that's a super cute, I feel like, character quirk of theirs. And they don't have any siblings. They want a sibling, but will they get a sibling? Who knows, honestly. But anyway, that's really all I have for their character. Now, their design. This is the main part. This is why this video took so long to make. Their design was driving me crazy. I was originally going to make them albino with like spots of rainwing color, but I didn't like that, so I was going to make them just purple and lavendery, and I didn't like that, and I ended up changing it, and I was going to give them spots and freckles, and then I wasn't, and I went back and forth, and I ended up completely scrapping their color palette and starting again from scratch, because I really hated it, and it wasn't clicking, you know? So I'm very glad I did, because I'm much happier with their color palette now than whatever I was doing before. So I ended up making them almost like a galaxy color palette, which I really love, and I think it'd be really cool if basically all their purple scales and their galaxy star scales, rainwing scales, they basically change depending on the time of day. Now, they can't actually control their scales changing, but basically at nighttime they have this deep purpley blue color with all the little stars that you're going to see in their final design. In the daytime they have this like bluish color, and it like sunrise, sunset, dawn, dusk, they have these beautiful oranges and reds. So I think that'd be a really cool character trait for them, and they have a lot of dragons like them, more than a friend, but they are not interested in any romance at the moment, but they are considered very beautiful, and lots of dragons do try to flirt with them. I don't know, I don't have any dragon romance at all really yet, so give this one a try. But yeah, I really like how their design turned out. They're probably my favorite OC I've done so far. That Amethyst and Parrot are my favorites, I suppose. And the end result I think is really pleasing to look at, and I think it's a cool idea if their scales can change depending on the time of day. And I think it's super pretty, and I love their design. Now, again, it took me a long time to figure it out, but the end result is really nice, and they have a great relationship with their parents. They have a tight circle of a few close friends that they're really nice with. And yeah, they actually have been learning music from their father since they can feel the vibrations, so they're a musician as well, which I think is really cool, and they love to play the drums. But that's really all I have for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe, and with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye!